Poisoned at the Grocery Store, Part 2 by Marko Vovk. The book link is below and available on Amazon. Canned food fills every shelf from soup to vegetables and even the odd fruit cocktail. Brands like Campbell's, Bush's, Del Monte, Dinty Moore, Progresso, and store varieties like Market Pantry and Walmart's Great Value offer the same promise: freshness and convenience on demand. But every canned story starts in a sprawling industrial plant, not a kitchen. Flat sheets of aluminum or steel roll out by the mile, then are cut, shaped, and sealed in blistering speed assembly lines. Before any food arrives, intense acid and caustic washes, often sodium hydroxide and phosphoric acid, scour the metal. Every can needs a shield to stop corrosion and keep the food from spoiling. Epoxy linings with bisphenol A, bisphenol S, phthalates, and sometimes vinyl chloride or polyester are slathered inside, even for BPA-free brands. Tests show many cans, including major names and even some organics, still use BPA or close cousins because regulators don't require disclosure if a substitute is used. When food is heated or sits on the shelf, these chemicals seep into soup, beans, fruit, and meats, especially when tomatoes or anything acidic is inside. Independent studies link BPA and its replacements to hormonal chaos, infertility, breast and prostate cancer, obesity, developmental delays, and ADHD. Next comes the can-filling gauntlet. Foods are cleaned with chlorinated water, ammonia, and often glycol for extended shelf life, the food equivalent of embalming. Water and brine can carry microplastics or traces of factory lubricants, especially if a plant runs 24/7. Fatty foods like canned fish or potted meat draw these chemicals in even faster. Reheat a can or leave it in the sun, and many toxins double their presence by the time you eat. No label says packed in a plastic parade. Hormone disruptors slip into circulation, acting like estrogen or testosterone, confusing every cell they touch. Babies, kids, and anyone with metabolic health problems face the sharpest edge. But every bite brings risk. Even brands touting eco or BPA-free may use BPS or phthalates, often with equally bad effects. Some providers like Amy's, Annie's, Eden Foods, and Sprouts were noted to have safer practices, but most cans tested from grocery giants still use toxic linings in at least some of their products. The soup aisle sparkles as the king of comfort food. Campbell's chicken noodle, vegetable beef, and tomato soup remain top sellers, alongside Progresso's creamy chicken or chunky steak and potato lines. The list on a typical can: beef stock, chicken broth, water, pasta, carrots, potatoes, tomato paste, celery, sugar, salt, yeast extract, hydrolyzed soy, protein, caramel color, flavoring, spices, and color. Beef or chicken stock is sourced from concentrated animal feeding operations, CAFOs. Bones and scraps are boiled in massive tanks, often bringing along traces of antibiotics, pesticides, and GMO animal feeds. Tomatoes are greenhouse types grown for bulk, not nutrition. They are blanched, peeled, cooked, and packed with citric acid, often industrially produced, not fresh juice. Salt is dumped for taste, with many soups having 700 to 900 milligram per serving, about half a day's safe limit. Some Progresso and Campbell's soups exceed 1,100 milligram per can. Sugar isn't just for baked beans. Some hearty or home-style flavors hide 7, 10, even 15 grams per can, which is more than a glazed donut. MSG and yeast extract come next. Factory fermentation breaks down proteins or spent yeast, concentrating compounds that hype up flavor but can trigger headaches, hyperactivity, nausea, dizziness, or even allergic reactions, especially in children and those sensitive to glutamates. Soybean oil, sometimes canola or corn oil, is chemically extracted under high pressure and heat. raising its omega-6 fat and oxidation risk, prime drivers of modern inflammation. Beans promise simplicity, but every can has a catch. Bush's, Goya, Eden, and store label beans list water, beans, salt, sugar, calcium chloride, sometimes EDTA, and firming acids. Acid and firming agents keep kidney beans and chickpeas bright and intact. Sugar is common. Bush's baked beans or Van Camp's add 10 to 16 grams per serving, more than some cookies. Flavoring in Boston or grillin' beans means sauces with chemicals, pork or beef smoke, and caramel color. Calcium chloride made with limestone and hydrochloric acid keeps beans firm but does nothing for your health if eaten in excess. Liver health is a silent victim with sodium content commonly above 400 milligrams per serving in most brands. Tropes like natural flavor or spice extract cloak dozens of manufactured chemicals, esters, aldehydes, and solvents designed for shelf life, not nutrition. Eden Foods is a rare major brand that commits to BPA-free, phthalate-free cans. Still, every other label in the aisle can, by law, hide the plasticizers under vague ingredient lists. Canned fruit fools the eye and tongue, Dole Del Monte, and generic cans start with syrup that is often more than 50% refined sugar solution. Pears, peaches, fruit cocktail, and pineapple come to you pre-boiled and packed with ascorbic and citric acid. Sugar and acid mask flavor loss from the high heat process. Calcium chloride locks firmness but does nothing for nutrition, and excess sodium builds up after even one serving. Color and artificial flavors are common in fruit cocktails and cherry mixes. FD&C Red 3 and Yellow 5 add fake color, both linked to allergic reactions and, in Red 3's case, animal studies indicating cancer risk. None of these colorants are needed for fruit, but help keep dull factory produce looking appealing for years. Canned meat and fish brands, Hormel, Spam, Great Value, Starkist, Chicken of the Sea, Valley Chef, Denny Moore offer everything from potted meat, corned beef hash, and sardines to clams and salmon. Meats are ground, emulsified, and cooked off the bone. They are stabilized and colored with sodium nitrite and nitrate, which can form cancer-promoting nitrosamines when mixed with protein and heat. Heavy salt, smoke flavor, hydrolyzed protein, and sugar define Spam, Vienna sausages, and Denny Moore stews. Cans of tuna, salmon, and sardines from Chicken of the Sea or Bumblebee include sea creatures and their own load of mercury and plastics. Most olive oil blends are heated and refined, stripping antioxidants but keeping the calories. Polyphosphates in seafood, common in store brands, and imported canned shellfish preserve a wet, bouncy texture but are linked to kidney and bone risk. Mechanically separated chicken or pork is standard in bargain pats and gravies. Processed with phosphates, the result is more paste than natural muscle. Gravy and sauces, Campbell's, Heinz, McCormick, Chefmate, and more are built from beef or chicken fat, mystery stock, flour, oils, artificial mushroom powder, caramel colors, and stabilizers. Sodium phosphate is added to keep sauces pouring or spreading smoothly, with sodium per serving often between 400 and 800 milligrams. Open the oddball cans and the magic gets weirder. Hearts of palm from Roland, Del Monte, or Reese are picked in forests, soaked in brine or citric acid, then sent around the world. Lotus root, jackfruit, and lychees from Kyoko and Dole take a similar journey. Harvested, blanched, then sealed in syrup and preservatives. Some brands, like La Choy, add calcium propionate and sodium benzoate to their canned Asian vegetables. Canned puddings, pie fillings, and fruit gels, Lucky Leaf, Libby's, Great Value, are mostly sugar, corn syrup, sorbitol, gums, and vanillin. Sorbitol comes from corn, is chemically treated, and can trigger cramps or diarrhea in sensitive eaters. Vanillin, the vanilla in canned desserts, is produced using wood pulp and other petrochemicals, not vanilla beans. Carrageenan, another common thickener in canned creams, is derived from red seaweed and has been linked to gut inflammation and possible tissue irritation. Canned spinach, beets, and artichokes may look healthy, but store versions, Del Monte, Goya, Reese, rest in salty, acidic baths with sodium, often 400 milligauss per serving or more. Canned olives from Lindsay and Pearls are soaked in lye or ferrous gluconate for color and texture, then stabilized with citric acid. Some canned tomatoes, Hunt's, Muir Glen, use calcium chloride and citric acid for color, risking extra calcium and acid in the diet but little extra nutrition. Even BPA-free cans can be lined with polystyrene, vinyl, or polyester coatings, all of which have unclear health effects but early links to hormone and immune disruption. Studies repeatedly show raised chemical biomarkers, BPA, BPS, phthalates, tin, plastics molecules in the urine and blood of those who regularly eat canned foods, with children showing especially high hormone disruption and asthma. Additives like titanium dioxide, sometimes in pudding and canned beans, are banned in Europe for DNA and immune risk, but still appear in some U.S. brands. If your pantry is built on cans, from Chef Boyardee ravioli to Bush's beans and Campbell's soup, you're eating a side order of the chemistry set. Every can delivers something extra, hidden during the journey. The only thing that stands the test of time is the mystery and the marketing. Real food should not require this much engineering, but in the world of canned carnage, the parade of poison continues, brand after brand, bite after bite. Plastic food packaging is everywhere. Boxes and cans may line the shelves, but nearly everything else sits inside clear, bendy plastic. Sandwich meat, deli cheese, nuts, berries, pasta, snacks, dips, and leftovers all hide under some form of plastic wrap, tub, pouch, or tray. Walk through any grocery store or kitchen and the chemical parade is impossible to escape. The manufacturing starts with raw polymer pellets churned out from petrochemicals. These pellets are melted, stretched, or pressed into giant sheets or tubes. A heated mold pushes the plastic into its final shape. Common types are polyethylene, polypropylene, polystyrene, PET, polyethylene terephthalate, and PVC, polyvinyl chloride. Trays and tubs are thermoformed. Sheet plastic gets warmed like pizza dough, then pressed into molds. Bottles, jars, and squeezable pouches are blasted into shape in seconds, cooled, then trimmed. Before filling, the plastic is tested for leaks or cracks, and often gets an extra step no one sees. Plastic is soft. So many containers need a chemical shield to resist grease, acid, or air. Most food plastics are coated or mixed with chemicals like phthalates to make them flexible, bisphenols to strengthen and stiffen, PFAS for grease resistance, vinyl chloride, styrene, and sometimes even PVDC or acrylic resins. These substances either sit on the container's inside walls or run through its entire structure. Colorants, UV blockers, and even antibacterial chemicals like triclosan may be added during manufacturing for protection or branding. Every one of these chemicals can become a sneaky ingredient in your lunch. Plastics are not a perfect seal. They shed tiny amounts of themselves into the food that touches them. Heat is the fastest trigger. Microwave a leftover or pour hot soup into a plastic tub, and the molecules loosen, leaking chemicals faster. Sunlight and UV rays break chemical bonds and weaken plastic in days, not months. Ever left a water bottle in a hot car? You might taste the plastic, but what you don't taste are hormone disruptors and plasticizers dissolving into your drink. Cold has its own tricks. Freezing makes plastics contract and get brittle, causing cracks and small breaks. When food expands as it freezes, the pressure increases and pulls more plasticizer out. Each thaw and refreeze means more chemicals move into your meal. Even time is the enemy. Months or years of slow storage let the plastic and its invisible friends migrate gradually right into your food's oil, water, or acid. What happens when these chemicals hit your food? Bisphenol A, BPA, and BPS can mimic hormones and have been linked to infertility, breast and prostate cancer, diabetes, obesity, heart disease, and childhood developmental problems. Phthalates interfere with metabolism and sabotage the body's hormone signals, raising risks for obesity, ADHD, asthma, and reproductive issues. PFAS, yes, the same forever chemicals found in nonstick pans and firefighting foam, are nearly indestructible and build up in blood, liver, and kidneys, causing immune dysfunction and higher cancer rates. Vinyl chloride and styrene are both classified as human carcinogens. Their presence in packaging increases the threat with every snack, meal, or sip stored in plastic. Plastic always comes with an extra ingredient list. Researchers counting the substances in common food plastics found over 900 separate chemicals with more than 40 known or probable carcinogens, many not listed on any label. Plastics may contain antimony trioxide to make PET, dithiocarbamates, parabens, synthetic colorants like azo dyes or titanium dioxide, organophosphates, hindered phenols, and metal stabilizers, all designed for shelf life. Many can leach into food more easily when exposed to light, heat, or even certain foods like tomato sauce, mayonnaise, or oil-rich dips. If your food ever spent time in a plastic wrapper, it probably picked up some phthalates. If your squeezy ketchup came in a flexible bottle, chances are it got a helping of BPA or its newer cousin, BPF. Clear clamshells for berries, produce bags, and sliced cheese trays can all transmit bisphenols, PFAS, or styrene-based plastifiers, especially if left in the sun, microwaved, or reused. The effect combines with every meal and snack, not just what you finished today. Inside your body, these chemicals do not just pass through. They may scramble hormone signals, block nutrients, burden the liver and kidneys, and fuel chronic inflammation. Conditions linked to plastic chemicals include thyroid disease, testicular and ovarian dysfunction, blood cancers, autoimmunity, lowered fertility, and behavioral changes in children. Brand names and generics alike use nearly identical materials because cost and convenience matter more than purity. Researchers checking Walmart, Target, Dollar General, and convenience store brands found plastics just as toxic as those in fast food wrappers and big box eco containers. Marketing claims like BPA-free, microwave-safe, and non-toxic usually mean one chemical was swapped for another, less studied but not less dangerous option. In the end, plastic food packaging is not just a container. It is a delivery system for a silent soup of science experiments and industrial leftovers. Each layer or additive is chosen to resist spoilage or cracking, but it resists health and wellness in the process. When you serve food from plastic, cold, hot, or straight off the shelf, remember that the real chemistry in your life might not be just flavor and seasoning, but the box, tub, wrap, or bottle itself. Plastic-wrapped deli meats, hot dogs, and bacon, Oscar Mayer, Hillshire Farm, and Ballpark, are preserved with nitrites, nitrates, sodium benzoate, and citric acid. The plastic is soft and loaded with phthalates and bisphenols for flexibility and strength. Over time, these chemicals migrate into the meat, especially when exposed to heat, sunlight, or cold. Fat and salt pull even more chemical residue from the plastic, so each lunch slice brings a side of hormone disruptors and cancer risks. Eating these products regularly links to inflammation, heart disease, colorectal cancer, and hormonal imbalances. Cheeses are often mass-produced in factories, with Sargento, Kraft, and Velveeta leading the market. Shredded, sliced, and block cheeses are packaged in polyethylene, PVC, or LDPE films, all of which leach bisphenols, phthalates, and sometimes vinyl chloride. Cheese is processed with salt, artificial color, citric acid, and enzymes, then stabilized with anti-caking agents like cellulose or potato starch. High-fat content makes cheese absorb more chemicals. Benzophine and DEHA and other toxins easily migrate from the plastic during storage or shipping. These build up in your system, harming hormone balance, raising cancer risk, and driving weight gain and digestive distress. Condiments like ketchup, mayonnaise, mustard, and salad dressings found in plastic bottles from Heinz, Hellmann's, French's, and Wishbone often contain sugar, salt, modified starch, citric or phosphoric acid, artificial flavors, and stabilizers. Bottles use PET, HDPE, or squeezable LDPE, plus colorants and UV blockers for shelf life. When bottles get hot, cold, or sit for months, the plastic sheds PFAS, bisphenols, and phthalates into the sauces. These chemicals disrupt gut health, damage immune cells, and can contribute to diabetes, obesity, and even reproductive issues over time. Even a dollop of dressing or hot sauce becomes a route for toxins that the body never learned to handle. Each of these supermarket staples appears fresh and safe. In reality, the food is being preserved and seasoned with chemicals the body treats as invaders. With every slice, squeeze, or pour, plastic packaging plays lead villain, leaching hormone disruptors and carcinogens and layering harm beneath every meal. More details on meat and plastic-wrapped protein will follow in future chapters, but every plastic-packaged food adds to the slow parade of invisible poison, with cheese and condiments right beside the deli counter. Plastic packaged foods crowd the center of every grocery store and line the outer edges. Sliced meats, cheeses, dips, yogurts, snacks, and condiments dominate coolers and shelves, sitting beside bread and milk in clear wraps, bags, tubs, and bottles. These products look safe and modern, but are striking proof that shelf life now beats real nutrition. Some processed foods, think packaged muffins, cheese singles, deli meats, Twinkies, and snack cakes wrapped in plastic, are so loaded with preservatives and stabilizers that they barely rot, even if left out for weeks. Shoppers sometimes joke that even mice refuse to eat them, and nature has quite literally lost interest. If animals and bugs pass it by, there is no hiding from the fact packaged chemical food is not food. The real magic happens inside the plastic itself. Every piece is made with blends of PET, polyethylene terephthalate, LDPE, low-density polyethylene, PVC, polyvinyl chloride, and sometimes multi-layer films that resist grease or light. Plastic containers get pumped with phthalates, bisphenols, PFAS, antimony trioxide, benzophenone, and dyes like titanium dioxide or red 40 for color stability. UV blockers like benzophenone keep salad dressing looking sunny in a refrigerated bottle. Leaching starts slow but speeds up with heat, light, and time. When containers crack, microwave, freeze, or sweat, they deliver an invisible cocktail into your meal. Thin plastic films on cheese use DHA and phthalates for flexibility. These migrate especially fast into fatty slices and shreds. Meats and dips come in trays lined with anti-fog chemicals and antimicrobial agents such as triclosan or silver nanoparticles. Some fresh deli meats are vacuum sealed in multi-layer film loaded with stabilizers, peel-off adhesives, and oxygen scavengers. Sliced bread often sits in polyethylene bags that contain slip agents like arucamide for easy opening and softer texture. Ultra-pasteurized milk is stored in HDPE jugs with high pigment and UV blocker loads. Beyond the basics, rows of hummus, guacamole, snack cheeses, granola bars, muffins, cookies, nut mixes, and dried fruit live in some of the most advanced plastics available. Vegetable snacks, carrot chips, celery sticks, grape tomatoes are often shrink-wrapped in films coated with antifungal chemicals that can slow spoilage until the produce starts to resemble a science project. Even vegan milk and plant-based yogurt are plastic prisoners, usually nestled in polypropylene cups and PET bottles, sealed with colored lids and protected by stretch wrap. Many of these containers were simply never designed for long-term health. Each item brings its own set of risks. High fructose corn syrup and ketchup, barbecue sauce, and sweet dressings gives bacteria lots to feed on. The plastic makes sure they never get a bite. Potato chips and crackers come in multi-layered pouches with aluminum, PEE, and plasticizers designed to resist air and water, not to nourish. Sliced bread and hamburger buns live in bags treated with calcium propionate and sorbate to resist mold. In some brands, a loaf will outlast anything in the produce aisle. Pre-sliced vegetables, even pre-washed salads, often carry extra preservatives like sodium benzoate or potassium sorbate to fight off mold and stretch the sell-by date. Several brands now use plastic infused with silver or copper ions, hoping to kill germs on contact, but the effect on human cells is still poorly understood. Look closer and you can find energy bars wrapped in plastics containing parabens and dithiocarbamates, snack cakes sealed in packaging loaded with antioxidants like BHT, butylated hydroxytoluene, to avoid rancidity. Some microwavable rice and noodle meals use polyester trays sprayed with acrylic polymers and anti-fog agents, keeping sauce from drying out. Breads, tortillas, and pita are sometimes stored in bags with propylene glycol and glycerin. Both are humectants that are more at home in a chemistry lab than a bakery. Food that doesn't rot, or food that even a mouse or a bug will not eat, is not really food. When packaging wins the war against decay, health and nutrition lose. More on veggie milk, meat, and baked goods will follow in future chapters as we unmask plastic packaging's hold on our food, our bodies, and our grocery store choices. Our mind is fooled by the word frozen. Most of us think it means long-term storage or preserving nature's best. Sometimes that is true, but the real reason so many foods are frozen is because otherwise nobody would buy them. Brands freeze off-grade broccoli, florets, broken berries, or overripe mangoes that would rot on a store shelf. Fish that never got sold at the fresh counter, or meat too tough for the grill, gets flash frozen for family value meals and tossed by the ton into bags bearing farm fresh scenery. Frozen food starts out with promises of peak ripeness and perfect texture, but it picks up more than vitamins on the way. Mystery oils sneak into breaded chicken, fries, breakfast sandwiches, and waffles. These oils are blends of processed soybean, canola, or palm oils, often partially hydrogenated and full of industrial trans fats, mono and diglycerides, and synthetic antioxidants like TBHQ or BHA. None of these are natural or good for you. They slow spoilage for months, but clog arteries, disrupt hormones, and increase cancer risk in real life. Even pan-cooked, crispy finishes in the frozen aisle can be a result of deep frying in these chemical oils before your food gets frozen and bagged. Yes, there is some overlap with our previous chapters, but that is because these chemical tricks show up everywhere in modern food. The message needs to stick. Convenient plastics in the freezer bring along all the phthalates, bisphenols, and polymer breakdown products you read about before, now made worse by the damage from freezing, thawing, and microwaving. Each step in the frozen food journey adds its own dusting of chemicals, because keeping food fresh in a frozen wasteland takes a lot more than just cold air. So beneath the icy packaging, you find food engineered for a shelf life marathon, not for nutrition or flavor. The biggest risk in the frozen section isn't frostbite, it's what's sneaking in while your defenses in the foods are frozen solid. Frozen pizza, dinners, breakfast food, vegetables, fruit, and ice cream all start with the promise of fast, easy meals. These frozen favorites have something else in common besides ice. They come loaded with chemical preservatives, colors, oils, and additives that do anything but nourish. Most are stripped of real nutrition during processing and freezing, only to be rebuilt with lab inventions and a shelf life much longer than anything natural. The preservative roster reads like a chemistry quiz. Butylated hydroxyanisole, BHA, butylated hydroxytoluene, BHT, tertiary butyl hydroquinone, TBHQ, sodium benzoate, calcium propionate, sodium nitrate, and propylgalate. Each is made from synthetic petrochemicals, not anything found in nature. They stop mold and slow down decay, but are linked to higher cancer risk, hormone disruption, gut irritation, and sometimes even liver or kidney problems. Many older dyes like red 3 and yellow 1 are removed because they cause tumors and allergy attacks. New rules in 2020 now let food companies use a wave of new super dyes, some already banned in parts of Europe. Look for names like Blue 2, Red 40, Yellow 6, and Green 3 in candies, frozen desserts, and rainbow breakfast waffles. Health groups warn parents to avoid these for kids because of cancer concerns and links to hyperactivity. All these products often include artificial flavors, high fructose corn syrup, hydrogenated and intersterified soybean or canola oil, mono and diglycerides, and gums like Gyur or xanthan. These make everything hold together, fake freshness, and bulk up on texture and sweetness. Mystery crispy or buttery flavors are never natural fats, but are blends of lab-made molecules that have been linked to headaches, metabolic syndrome, and inflammation. Frozen fruits and vegetables, though sounding healthy, often retain synthetic pesticides from field to freezer. Common pesticides found on or in frozen produce include glyphosate, chlorpyrifos, imidacloprid, and pyrethroids, residues that survive cold, shipping, and months on the shelf. Once processed and thawed, these foods can absorb more plasticizer or color from their packaging. Each bag, box, tray, and pint from the freezer aisle is one more reminder. Freezing may pause the clock, but it does not pause the chemical parade, the color wheel, or the health risks hiding in each bite. Stauffer's lasagna with meat and sauce and DiGiorno 3 meat rising crust pizza are icons of the frozen aisle, offering quick comfort but hiding a storm of unhealthy ingredients. These popular products are packed with sodium, processed meats, artificial colors, and preservatives like BHA and TBHQ. Their meats come cured with sodium nitrite, and their sauces often include synthetic flavor boosters, while crusts and pasta bulk up on processed carbs and even trans fats. The chemical cocktail inside rivals anything found in a junk food factory, with each bite serving up more inflammation, blood pressure spikes, and long-term risks than real nourishment. It's not just the nutrition panel that's worrying. These meals contain dyes and colorants, red 40, yellow 6, blue 2, that in earlier years caused enough cancer and hyperactivity concerns to get banned elsewhere, only to be swapped for similar dyes as food laws shifted. Modern administration changes, and global food politics mean ingredient lists can morph at any time. Companies reformulate for different regions, responding to health rules, ingredients prices, or local taste preferences. A pizza sold in the US might have one set of additives and dyes, while its European version contains others, some safer, some just different. As you read this book, remember that the food ingrediency is constantly changing. Brands update recipes to dodge health scandals, meet new regulations, cut costs, or keep up with trends. Thanks to this ingredient shuffle, your favorite frozen lasagna or pizza may look the same on the outside, but can be loaded with new chemicals, colors, or preservatives, sometimes more, sometimes less, but rarely good. To make sense of these shifting risks, the next section will dig into how food companies choose and change ingredients for different countries and why what's inside matters more than ever. Frozen dinners like pizzas, lasagnas, and chicken meals often look the same on both sides of the Atlantic, but their recipe can change dramatically depending on where you buy them. Take DiGiorno 3 meat rising crust pizza, for example. In the USA, it often contains artificial colors like red 40, yellow 6, and blue 2, as well as preservatives such as BHA, BHT, TBHQ, and sodium nitrite. These ingredients are allowed in America, but many are banned in Europe due to health concerns. European versions usually replace the artificial colors with plant extracts or annatto, remove sodium nitrite, and avoid preservatives linked to cancer and hormone disruption. American pizzas may even use brominated vegetable oil and titanium dioxide used for whitening, both banned or heavily restricted in European countries for cancer and DNA risk. This difference is not just about taste, it's about what the law allows, what health organizations recommend, and what manufacturers can get away with. Companies modify ingredient lists for every region, not only due to local regulations, but also because certain chemicals cost less, last longer, or meet popular demand for color and convenience. While Americans might get a longer shelf life, Europeans get fewer artificial preservatives and dyes, yet often pay more at the register. As you read this book, remember, what's in your frozen dinner today can change tomorrow. Manufacturers swap out ingredients for cost, health scandals, politics, or simply because a new law passes in your town or country. The same brand may sell a healthier pizza in one place, but load it with chemicals elsewhere. Without strict rules or daring transparency, companies can put new or banned substances into your food without you learning the difference right up until the next package lands in your cart. The only sure thing in frozen food isn't the recipe, it's the risk that comes with every scoop, slice, or bite. Walk down the frozen grocery aisle and you get more than pizzas, dinners, and vegetables. Entire sections are strangely frozen, not for nutrition, but because food companies need to keep odd, fragile, or heavily processed products sellable for months. Frozen orange juice is a prime example. Popular brands like Tropicana and Minute Maid do not just squeeze oranges and freeze them. They store juice in giant tanks, strip out oxygen, and later add flavor packs engineered from orange peels and chemical essences to recreate the scent and taste lost in processing. These flavor packs are custom mixes, sometimes including ethyl butyrate and other lab-made chemicals, never mentioned on the ingredient label. The result is juice that tastes the same every day of the year, but has lost its freshness and picked up new chemical baggage. Ice cream is no safer. Many store brands and novelties are not even true ice cream, but frozen dairy dessert filled with corn syrup, palm oil, mono and diglycerides, carrageenan, artificial vanillin, and sometimes titanium dioxide for a whiter appearance. The FDA lets brands like Breyers and store labels avoid real cream, bulking up instead with stabilizers, gums, and engineered flavors. Vanilla often comes from wood pulp. Chocolate can arrive as cocoa with extra alkali or fake aroma chemicals. What looks and tastes like a treat may deliver hydrogenated fat, synthetic sweetness, and a dose of hidden preservatives that upset the gut, raise inflammation, and add to cancer risk. Popsicles and frozen treats are a chemistry experiment on a stick. They start with water and sugar,